Hello everyone, this is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to chat with you guys about my March-April budget update. Lots of expenses. Let's get started and talk about it. On a previous video, I mentioned that we had two unexpected trips that my husband made. One was to my husband saying goodbye to his brother. His brother recently passed away from a long-term illness. And then to go to a funeral/memorial service, and both of these were in different states. One was in Tennessee, one was in Michigan. And so the good news is, even though it's sad that he passed away, is that we didn't have to, wipe out a big chunk in our savings account. We actually cash flowed a big chunk of both trips, okay? And so that was a blessing, and it's because neither my husband or I have been spending that much money. And I will give you some examples of this. Well, last month I had $240 left over for my cash envelope system. So I set that money aside just in case something comes up. And I'm glad. I'm going to continue doing that because it's nice to have leftover money for unexpected things that come up. It could be, let's say you need a new tire and normally you take it out of your, sinking fund or savings account. Well, if you don't spend as much cash and maybe you set aside some money and you're like, wow, I've got enough cash to buy a tire, so you don't have to take it out. So that's kind of what I'm using that extra cash for. But I'm really being cautious of how I spend my money. I mean, I have the money to spend on items I want or need, but there's so many things that just aren't a need. And it actually helps that things are so overpriced because I'm like, that's not worth it. I'll just make do with what I have. And speaking of that, I'm spending a lot less at the Dollar Tree. Yes, I like the Dollar Tree, but you know what? Unless it's something that I'm going to be using that is what I call maybe a consumable. Let's say there's a cleaning product there or something like that. A lot of these other gadgety type things, I really don't need them. As a matter of fact, the last 3 weeks I've gone to the Dollar Tree, I haven't spent anything just because there was nothing I absolutely needed. And I'm just making do with what I have. So I'm basically buying less overall, and I'm very happy about mostly cash flowing both of these trips, which is good. Also, when I'm out, we're looking for deals and looking for ways to get things that are on a good discount. Some weeks are good, some weeks are kind of not so good. And guess what? If I have a week where it's not so good, then you know what? We just leave things there and don't buy anything at the store at all. And I'm basically also with groceries, I'm working on improving. I want less and less waste. So if I could not waste any money on food, that'd be ideal. But I'm really working on wasting less, because if we're wasting any money on food at all and I'm not using everything we have, then to me, I can be spending less at the grocery store until we use those items up. I think a lot of us keep buying more stuff because we want something new, new and shiny, but yet we're not using up some of these older ingredients. Maybe the meal isn't that exciting and it's not just totally delicious. Have you guys ever cooked something that it's not inedible, but you don't just love it? And unfortunately, things like that just sit in the refrigerator. Well, maybe we could revive it, reseason it, or maybe we could just say, hey, we're going to finish eating this because we don't want to waste it. It's good food, if there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe it's not your favorite. And then make a note to yourself, hey, I might not make this again, but I'm going to eat it and finish it up, so you don't let it sit in the fridge and waste. And last but not least, a big thing is I'm just working on being more and more grateful. I hear so many people, and I understand that it's stressful. No judgment to anybody. I'm not walking in anyone's shoes. But I hear so many folks, just out there in that, because I listen in and hear conversations. People complain about jobs or their life. And I understand sometimes we do need to vent and let that out, okay? But right now in my life, complaining has no part in my life because I really want to work on being more grateful for everything I have. For my work, for my family, for the health that I have, for the dear friends I have, and just look at all the wonderful blessings I do have and a lot less complaining. Because guess what? I'm human. I can sometimes grumble myself. So things are going well in the budget. We're well provided for. I want to be a wise steward of what we have. I just want to ask you, how's your budget coming along? I always love to hear from you. That's all I have to say for now. Love you, appreciate you, and I hope to see you on tomorrow's video. Bye, everybody.